Okay, so this is the second try doing this. The first time I did it, um, it didn't record. I did it on my laptop, and the recording just corrupted, wasn't accessible anymore. It took a minute for me to find the motivation again, but here we are, back at it again. So today I kind of just I'm improvising this as well as per usual, just to push my limits a little. I also improvised a a tripod because I don't have one, so I took a bunch of cardboard and I cut it together to put my phone in there so that you can see what I'm about to do. So let me just try to do this. I'm afraid this might be a little too heavy. Let's see. So my phone is too heavy for this. Surprise. I'm gonna have to fix this in a second. Give me a minute. Okay, V2. I added a little thingy here, so now this is a bit more stable. A bit, just a little bit. But no excuses. Gotta get this going. So we put this back in here. Shampoo bottle. It's lopsided now. What can we do? Oh, okay. Yeah, this is heavy. It's my pebble bowl. So I'm not just gonna put this in here. And then that should keep the whole thing situated. Gotta work this out. I'm just gonna keep this in because it's part of the process. So I guess this works. Beautiful. I didn't clean up my desk. I didn't clean up anything because this isn't because I want to pretend that everything is perfect and fine, all right. This is about doing it whenever the impulse arises to create something, because ultimately practice makes better. You're gonna see my chin for quite a bit now, I guess. I might actually try to see if I can work this out a bit more, but usually when I work, I'm slanted over anyway, so I guess that works. Okay. So the idea is I asked ChatGPT to give me a bunch of topics to talk about, to monologue a little, and I'll just go through them and see what sparks joy. As I said, I tried this a couple days ago and the file corrupted. So we'll see how this feels, because it's not going to be 100% spontaneous, because in a sense I rehearsed it already. Well, we'll see what happens. So here's the concept. I have these sheets of paper. They are a bit bigger than an A2 format, and I want to make 33 paintings of this size. I just realized that I have only one, and I want to make 33, so that's a problem. But I'm gonna make one, and then I will go out and buy more, because at the end of the day, you gotta start with what you have and not wait for everything to fall into place perfectly and exactly. I'm gonna start with the green because that is my signature color. I'm not sure if I have enough green to make the whole thing. So what I'm also thinking is going with the light green because I have more of that. So just as a disclaimer, if you don't know, I mean, obviously you don't know me, I'm a stranger on the internet. So I made this thing here, this bit on the wall that I have hanging up here, the blue, green, and red. That is a piece that I made last time, in the process, like when I tried to make this video the first time around. And that kind of gives you an idea of my art style a little bit. I have some more hanging on the walls, but you gotta see what this is about. I find that I don't find as much joy in trying to make photorealistic works because we know what the world looks like, so you can very easily pick up on things that are out of place or not exactly proportional or as they should look like. But when I make abstract work, for one, I can go into it easier, flow, it happens faster, I suppose. But also, if nobody knows what it's supposed to look like, then nobody can tell you whether it's right or wrong. That's why I do it. If you like it, then great. If you don't, then oh well. Either way, I'm gonna start, and I think, let me see if I can adjust this just a little bit. I cannot, because I fixed it in the angle that it is. Isn't that lovely? You know what? I'm gonna take a seat. And I'm gonna, because I have been very fortunate in getting my hands on one of these moving desks, which is just a luxury, honestly. Yeah, there's shit on my bed. This is for the German elections. I'm German by nationality, and this is a mail-in ballot because I live in the Netherlands, and I want to make sure that I can vote for a party that is not right-wing, because fuck AfD. I'm sorry, but gotta say it. I might also swear in these videos because that is how I talk, and I don't see the point in changing any of that. So we're gonna start, and the first thing that is on the list here is the nature of spontaneity in art. It's interesting because it says how to harness structure and spontaneity, and structure spontaneity without killing its essence. And it plays very much into how I approach spontaneity, because I am not a spontaneous person at all. Okay, while I yap, I'm gonna start drawing. I'm really not spontaneous at all. It might appear this way because that's what you see right now, but I really have to plan for these things, ironically enough. I have a hard time just being spontaneous without knowing what's happening or what's gonna happen. So I found that having some structure really helps me with also enjoying the process of spontaneity, because I mean, of course you can push yourself to, you know, be spontaneous, but question arises, like, at what cost? What's the point of you know, being, even when you expand your boundaries and you learn new skills, if you don't enjoy the process, then you're not going to keep it up for very long. And it's, at the end of the day, about finding joy in what you do, because that is the most sustainable thing you can do. At least I found, for me. I can push myself to, you know, to be, I suppose, disciplined and do something that I don't enjoy. Finishing my degree, for example, at the moment. But some things, you can't force them. You can't force spontaneity. I made the first video 3 days ago, I believe. I wanted to repeat it, but I just didn't feel like making anything. So I didn't, because when I force myself to be creative, I make bad work. It's not necessarily bad, but I don't get any joy out of it. And the longer I do something that I don't get any joy out of, the less I actually want to do it in the long term, which is not the point, right? I want to do this forever, ideally. And so I don't want to force myself too much to engage in a process that really, it can be nudged. You can set yourself up in such a way that it's easier to engage in it, but you can't really force spontaneity. You can establish catalysts, though, to make sure that you find what gets you there easier. You don't see any of what I just did, huh? So I guess I'm just gonna turn this around, then you can look at it. And so this is, okay, wait, let me just map the border of what you can see. So here, so everything below my arm, so there's a line here that, okay. So I'm gonna try to, next time I'm gonna put you on the other side, on this side of the desk, because I'm right-handed, so I cover everything I do with my hand, I just realized. Last time I did that smart, I put the camera on the left side. You live and you learn. But either way, I also found that pushing myself to be spontaneous when I'm not spontaneous at all is really important, because I used to schedule my weeks 2 weeks in advance. I would have my entire week planned out, from the time when I eat, the time when I sleep, when I meet friends, when I stop meeting friends, when I do a specific task for university, or clean the house, or do my chores, or whatever. And even though that was really comforting, because I knew exactly what was happening at what time, and I didn't have to worry about forgetting things, it really left no space for a spontaneous thing, whether that was meeting with friends, or going for a walk, doing something that I felt more like doing rather than what I was planning to do, for example, right? If I had planned to make this video yesterday, I think it would have been a shit video, because I would not have enjoyed myself in the process. And I think you can tell that. I think you can tell whether people do things because they enjoy doing them, or because they have to do them. And of course, sometimes certain things you just have to do. And sometimes even the things you enjoy doing, they also feel like chores sometimes. And I think that's okay. As long as you don't, let it get the better of you. Because I think if something that you enjoy becomes more like work to you, then you should take a break. At least if you can, of course, right? This is a privileged situation. And ultimately, not everybody has the chance to just take a break from everything they do. But that is something that I'm really quite aware of when it comes to doing art, because I've recently been starting to take it a bit more serious. I got more commissions, and doing this, right? And I am not scared, that's the wrong word, but aware of the risk that it might start to feel like a chore at some point, which I will be careful. I will watch out for that, and really see what happens internally, because if this becomes something that drains energy rather than gives me energy, then I think, just like everything else in life, you gotta be careful about it. because we only have all that much time on this planet and so much energy to give, and I think we should be careful with how we spend our time and energy and who we spend it on as well. I'm not a big fan of the cut everything out that doesn't spark joy or anything, because some things you just have to do, and certain things you can't just abandon because they don't advance your personal peace. I think sometimes you at least have to recognize that not everybody is in a state of giving you peace at all times, and that honestly speaking also you won't be able to give everybody else peace at all times, because we're human, and at the end of the day everybody struggles with their own little package, and the sooner we recognize that, I think the sooner we can all be a little bit more compassionate with one another. Because at the end of the day, if all that matters to you is the peace that I give to you, then I don't want to be in your life, because I might also want to share my struggles with you, and that is not just peaceful. That's what friends are there for, right? To share the good, the bad, and the ugly, and to be a companion at the end of the day. And I think that is a result of a somewhat toxic positivity movement, to say if it doesn't bring you peace or joy, then cut it out, because it ignores the fact that some things are not inherently pleasant, but they are still necessary for life and for growth to occur. And I guess that was the yap about, it all comes back to spontaneity, because, well, I mean, to get to do this, to put myself on camera and to put it on the internet for everybody to see, is not an inherently pleasant experience. There's some worries and doubts that come with that, that are not negligible, and I'm fortunate enough to be in a place where I don't have to worry about it too much, but this discomfort too will give me growth and a new skill set to some extent, even though I'm not going to become a great editor overnight. This is a one take after all, with the two things before that, but I'll put them into iMovie and just put them one after the other, render the thing and put it online. I'm not going to edit any colors or anything, because this part of the process isn't about being technically good. It's about practicing the skill of just starting it and doing it, because practice makes better. That's the mantra I live by, and I think you have to know what to practice at what time. That being said, if it's time to practice peace for you, and you really need to banish everything that doesn't serve that end, then go for it. But be kind about it. Because people are people. People are humans. And we all just want to make each other happy and be there for one another and be with one another. And I think communication and open communication is the most important thing at the end of the day. Okay, what do I put in here? How about that? Well, and that quickly, the first of 33 is done. This is my art. Somebody commented under my first video already to show my work, which is incredible. I didn't expect anyone to see this, quite frankly. And I think I have 1 subscriber already. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. But it's quite funny how this goes, because I've been thinking about this for a while, and I live by the mantra, practice makes better, and I always tell people, start with what you have, and at some point it hit a boiling point where I thought, you know, if I keep preaching it, then I also have to practice it, and this is me practicing it. So I hope you enjoy this. Thank you for sticking around for all the almost 20 minutes. I will see you in the next one. Perhaps I will take you along on the tour of making 33 of these. I don't think I will document all of them. I'll do some mining off camera. But either way, I'll catch you around. Thank you for watching, I guess.